Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? Kevin here, coming back at you with another video. So what you're looking at is a KV75 engine. This is not the one from my KV75, but this motor right here was built out of leftover extra parts. I didn't do a video on building it because I wasn't sure how many parts I even had that were any good. So this was a kind of a late night thing, but it turns out I had the oil pump and I had pretty much everything. I even have the top end to it as well. I have to get some gaskets. So I do have a little leak on the plug at the bottom. I'll show you, I'll flip it up right there on that plug right there. So I got to change the gasket on that. But other than that, I ended up with an extra spare parts motor. Real nice engine. And this right here is going to go on nothing. It's actually going on nothing right at the moment. I do have another bike coming, so it may end up on that, but as right now, this engine is complete from A to zinc. Everything is in excellent condition, and this is a great spare parts motor or replacement engine for my bike. This is not CDI. This one is points. I kept that the same. So we have all that, and I have that cover that goes on this side over here for the chain cover. That right there was in good shape, so I have to put that on, but I gotta get the screws for it. And the top end needs the gasket, and I'll show you what I got. So I have a complete top end, piston and all that, rings, exhaust flange. This one, I honed the cylinder, I'll give it a quick once over on the cylinder. You can see how nice that looks. Cylinder came out in nice shape. Everything is in good shape on this. No broken fins, just the way I like them. I've got the cylinder head right here for this. No broken fins on that either. The wrist pin, I've got a couple. I got the exciter in here and the screws for the carburetor and air filter assembly. So I have the intake. I've got the carb. I've got the bowl inside. I've got the air filter assembly. The clamps, this is all extra parts that were left over from other builds, and I was able to build a complete motor. Just got to get gaskets. I got to get the base gasket, the intake gasket, and the head gasket, and then that all can just be slapped right back onto this engine right here. And then put the bowl back on the carburetor, fix that gasket at the bottom, and then we got ourselves a running engine. Didn't realize I had that many parts. So that's a KV75. This is the one down, the neutral, then second and third shift pattern on this bike. So I even had the factory cable. I got the rest of the cable too. Just snaps on the end of that. But Kickstarter was in excellent condition. Everything was in good shape. I had a lot of good parts. A lot of good parts, so I can't really complain. I figured I'd do a show video and show you guys what I've been working on. It's been raining out. I hadn't been feeling good, so I haven't been able to do a lot of videos. So I wanted to show you guys that I have a spare motor. And then back on that exhaust you guys liked on the KE100. This is the modified exhaust right here that I had. I took the baffles out. Remember I took the baffles out? So this is now an expansion chamber all the way up through. And it is loud. Very, very, very loud. Definitely had a lot more power added to the bike. So now I'm in the process of making a tip, an end. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep this thing all hollow, like an expansion chamber for what it is. Then I built this. This is just another piece that would bolt in here with the baffle, with the baffles removed. I drove a washer into it. It's got to be welded, and then I'm going to drill out this hole, make it a little bigger. We're going to weld a pipe into it, and then we're going to use a silencer on the end with a nice glass pack. And then this is going to fit right inside there like so. And then the pipe will come off that and then go into the silencer. This part with the silencer is going to be able to be removed, and we're going to use the factory bolt holes. And that's how that's going to sit. So that part right there for that expansion chamber is all done. We're going to clean it all up, get it prettied up, and probably use that on one of our bikes. We have Andrew's bike, the Andrew bike build. So I got the pipe all measured out, cleaned up, and ground down, cut. So there's one part of that pipe right there, the main header, and then you got the angle cut on that with the other part of that pipe, and that gets welded on there like so, and then that'll be all done. His gasket bolts, the little cap for the exhaust on that, so my brother is going to be helping me do that, so thank you, Clay. And then that's pretty much where we're at with that. And then we get back on the other bikes. I'm just kind of puttering around, not doing much of anything today. I figured I'd do a quick show and tell, say hi to everybody, thank you for your subscriptions, thank you for your views, and thank you for sharing my channel. Well, I should say our channel, because without you guys we don't have a channel, right? And then next week we'll go back on that KE100 bike, the 1986. I've got my bike running right now, my big one. Getting ready, just running some fuel and stuff out of it. We're going to be winterizing the bike and getting this thing put away for the winter. And we still got to do the video and pulling all the crap off of it. A lot of leaves, guys, a lot of leaves. So where we're at, we left the, we took the engine off the frame. We got a lot of stuff to do to this bike, a lot. So we're going to be back on this next week. I've got the other, what do you call it there? No, I'm not changing tank. We're keeping that tank. We cleaned that tank already. So we got to do the engine. We got to get that back on, and then we got to do the electrical from tip to tip. We got to straighten out the tailbone. Tailbone's a little bent. We're going to bend that straight, and then go from there. So we have a lot of stuff coming up, a lot. So we got to change the handlebars. Those are all bent like a pretzel. So we got handlebars to do, mount the kickstand. Got a lot to do. So anyway, videos are coming up, and they're coming up quick and soon. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been contributing. I had a few people send me some stuff. I really appreciate your donation of your spare parts. Those help me out quite a bit, and they're very, very much needed. So, and I just want you to know I don't resell those things. I keep them. We do the videos, and then I ride these bikes. And to show you guys that I ride my bikes, if you guys who looked at my other video, I had 2,080 miles, and going back and forth to work. Leaves are everywhere, guys. It's awful. Welcome to fall, right? 2,161. So I put 100 miles in like 2 weeks on this bike right here, because I ride it back and forth to work. So what I do is I alternate them. So what I do is I'm gonna show you guys how I do it with my bikes, and you guys can use this on your this formula on your bike. So I pick the bike with the highest number, and then I ride the bike with the lowest number to get up to that. So this bike has 2,161. Okay, so I've got a few more rides on this bike. This bike right here has 226. 2,226. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ride that bike until it hits that mileage, and then I'll use this bike, bring this mileage up, and then stop using this one and get back on that bike. And that's how I do it. I keep the bikes at pretty much around the same mileage, and that helps for wear. So it allows me to ride the bikes majestically, of course, you know, no other way to ride the bike, and then keep the mileage low and kind of the same. So for those of you guys who don't have the option of two bikes, you don't have to do that. Just something I do to keep my bikes all at the low mileage and flowing. Anyway, so, and then of course we're going to be back on this one, and we're going to do this bike up. So I got a couple of requests for a mini bike to put a Predator engine on one of these things. Now, you know me, I don't like Predator engines. What I don't like about the Predator engine is simple. It's a knockoff on a great engine. It's an insult to a Honda, and that's what I don't like about it. There is a lot of bikes that used to, you know, everybody buys them. They make all kinds of aftermarket stuff for the Predator, but I don't like it because it's a knockoff. That's just me. That's just how I am. That'd be like having a instead of a Kawasaki, a Kimosaki. you know, or a Kawasaki or something, you know, like a knockoff on a beautiful, awesome bike that everybody, you know, building aftermarket parts for because they got the rights to it. You know, I'd rather have the original and ride that. If I'm going to have a bike with an engine on, it's going to have a Honda. But because a lot of my mini bike friends like that Predator engine, I have another bike frame like a Kawasaki. Same, it's a KE100 frame. We're going to put a, what do you call it there? We're going to adapt it to run a Predator engine on it. And we're going to do that on a mini bike as well. So we're going to do a couple of motors and see how they work out. So just a couple of things coming up, you know, some fun winter projects. As you guys know, I'm in the process of buying a house, so my time has been very limited onto doing videos. I got a lot going on, and it's just going to be a little bit, but thank you for bearing with me on all that. You guys have been an absolute great audience, and I really appreciate you guys. So thank you, and thank you for your comments, guys. I really appreciate those. I dig out my old Shindawa for the leaf cleanup, which we have leaves everywhere. We had a heck of a storm. It blew a ton of leaves down, and I even used a shovel. So I got a lot of stuff to clean up. But anyway, I just figured I'd do a video, say hi to you guys, and share how I do my mileage thing, and let my bike run for a little bit. I got to pull the battery out and the fuel and all that. So love that bike. This is a 1992 1992 Yamaha Virago 1100. I had a Shadow look just like it, but this is my favorite bike right here, guys. This is the 1100. I put the spoke wheels on it from a 700, and it's just been a great bike. This one's got 17,000. Got my fuel light came on, which is good. Got a little fuel light on the gate. I gotta clean the gate. Everything's just all sappy. But look at this thing. This idle is shake. But anyway, I got to do a fuel system flush on it, get it put up for the winter, and charge up the battery. Bring the battery in the house. I'm gonna put a new battery in it for next year, and we're gonna detail this thing. We gotta take the bags off. We gotta take these crappy plastic lights off. These things are plastic, literally. It's plastic. They looked great when I first put them on. They were nice and chrome, but you can see the bulbs are all faded out of them. They're just junk. All the lenses are faded. We're gonna change all the lights over to LED. Gonna be doing that. We're gonna polish the fork tubes so they're chrome. I gotta do fork seals. I got the aftermarket oil relocation kit for this, so that's gotta be done. We got to redo the exhaust. We're going to clean that up and chrome it. Got a lot of stuff going on, guys. Awesome bike. All LED lighting, but I got a couple of LEDs out here, so we're going to change this out. We're going to put a actual LED light bulb in it. And you can notice that my tail lights are on. I'm going to be doing a video on how I did that. I think a lot of people ask me, Kevin, how do you do that? I'm going to show you guys how I did that. It's real simple, real easy to do, and I put clear lenses on the bike. We've got the reflector right there. I got that in LED, and I think I told you guys this before, and I got those right there in LED, which are also, they light, but they also directionals, which is cool. And yeah, I can't wait, guys. So here's my Virago. I miss riding that, but I've been riding two-stroke, so you guys understand. Got a couple of dead carcasses right there, a couple of KE100 engines, parts engines right now, but I gotta get them. I just brought them out of the shed. I gotta put them in totes, get those guys done. And of course, I like to answer questions on my channel, so I have gotten some great questions, and I'm going to answer the biggest one right now. What is the difference between a Kawasaki KE100 engine, a Kawasaki KM100, or a Kawasaki KD100 engine? What is the two differences on that? As they sit right here, right now, absolutely nothing. This part, everything you see here is the exact same. They might have a different magneto on them, but other than the magneto, they are the absolute same. Same bore, same stroke, same studs, same rotary valve, same clutch adjustment, same kickstarter, same flywheels, same, except one might use a 6 magnet, you know, the older ones, or the 3 magnet, or the 4 magnet, depending if it's a CDI. But other than that, they are the exact same thing. You could take that clutch cover off and stick it right on that motor. You could take the crankshaft out of that motor and stick it right into that engine, or that engine into this engine. They are the same. You could take the transmission gears right out of this one and stick them right into that one. There is no difference on them, okay? You might find with the older ones, you're going to run into this problem, okay? If you have the one that has neutral all the way down, you're not going to have this. See how this one here is all, you don't have that plug, okay? You have this plug. This one has first gear, neutral, second, third, fourth, and fifth. This one has neutral, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, okay? Same thing. Oil pumps are the same. But if you get a newer one, like an 80s KD, an 80s KD 100, or the like my 79, 78, and I think from, was it 70, I think it's like 76 and on, had that plug on them because they have the same shift pattern. But whatever, you guys know, it's the same engine block. This whole engine right here will fit right into the bike. So what is the difference between the two engines? I'll show you. I did an earlier video on this, but it keeps popping up, so I'm going to do a different, I'm just going to show you guys real quick. Okay, so this right here is a Kawasaki KE100 cylinder. This one right here is a Kawasaki KM100 or a KD100, either bike, okay? So the difference is the exhaust port is in the center and is larger. The KM and the KD, it's off to one side and is much smaller. Other than that, it's the same. Both of these will bolt on to both engines. So say you had a KE and you wanted to put this KE engine onto a KM. You just take this off and you install this one. And now you've got a KM100 or a KD100. If you want to make a KM engine into a KE engine, you take this off and you put this on. It's the same thing. Now there is one other thing that you guys need to know. Real simple, it's real easy, not a big deal. The heads are interchangeable, okay? They're interchangeable. One is lighter, the one for the KM is lighter than the KE, and they take different spark plugs. This is no change. It's the same thing. The compression ratio is the same. The compression, the deck height, everything is the exact same. So by switching out the heads, the only thing you're going to have to do is go from an ES to an HS spark plug. That's it. Or vice versa, depending upon which one you have. So it's just the length of the plug, but the cylinder head is the same. They'll fit. So there you go. And the same gasket kits are interchangeable. So if you're looking for a base gasket or a head gasket for a KM, you have to buy, you can buy the KE one. However, the exhaust ring gaskets are different diameters, okay? So there's the two, there's the difference, there's the whole enchilada right there. Now you know what the difference is between the two. And one person asked me, what's the size difference between a these bikes and a KV75? Not a whole heck of a lot. They are substantially different, but this is pretty close to the 80, but the 80 will not fit. A person asked me, will the 80 rings fit onto the KV75 piston. No, they will not. This is slightly smaller than the KD80. Okay? They are not interchangeable in any way, stretch, or means. However, the exhaust ring will fit onto the KM, I believe. I think the ring is the same. Pretty sure it is. So that's pretty much it for that. Anyway, guys, if you have any questions or need any answers on any of those questions, I can help you. Also, too, I got asked a question about how can I tell if my cylinder is cast iron or aluminum. Aluminum has a smooth look to it. See how it's smooth? And then the cast iron is obviously it's more. This rusts. So a cast iron will rust. Aluminum will not. It'll oxidize. So if your cylinder is oxidized, it's aluminum. If it's rusty, it's cast iron. Earlier KEs came cast iron. Now this cast iron head right here, jug I mean, is what do you call it there? An early one. The one that's on my yellow bike is the same thing, but it's aluminum. So it's like that, it won't rust. It'll oxidize. And is both the aluminum KE and the KM are nickel coated. Same pistons. You can take a piston right out of a KE and stick it right into a KM. Same thing. Okay, same part number, everything's the same. So anyway, guys, that's what I got for you for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I'll be talking to you guys later.